April 2023, Toronto Pearson Airport. As passengers rushed to their gates and flights departed on schedule, no one noticed the audacious crime unfolding right before their eyes. 400 kilograms of pure gold bars and $2 million in cash disappeared without anyone raising an alarm. This wasn't just any theft. It was about to become the largest gold heist in Canadian history. The story begins on April 17, 2023. A cargo flight from Switzerland touches down at Toronto Pearson International Airport at 3:56 p.m. Inside one of its containers, 6,600 bars of 99.9% pure gold, destined for TD Bank and Exchange Company VBCE. The cargo is moved to Air Canada's secure terminal, where it awaits pickup by Brink Security Service. Everything seems normal until it isn't. At 6:32 p.m., a white 5-ton truck pulls up to the cargo terminal. The driver, wearing a standard uniform complete with reflective vest, gloves, and mask, presents documents to the warehouse staff. In his hands is an airway bill for 1,200 kilograms of seafood, a copy printed from Air Canada's internal printer. The same document had been used just the day before, but nobody notices anything suspicious. Within minutes, warehouse employees load the container onto the truck, and just like that, the vehicle drives away with millions in gold and cash. No alarm, no security check, no questions asked. The real Brink's armored vehicle arrives at 9:30 p.m. to collect the valuable cargo, but by then, the container is long gone. Air Canada doesn't notify police until 2:43 a.m., giving the thieves over 8 hours head start. By then, the gold could be hundreds of kilometers away from Toronto. Police immediately launch Project 24K to track down the stolen treasure. The evidence quickly points to one conclusion. This wasn't a break-in. It was an inside job. Nothing was forced. No security protocols were triggered. Someone had intimate knowledge of Air Canada's internal system, knew exactly when the real security team would arrive, and ensured that nobody would question the pickup. But even the most meticulous criminals make mistakes. In this case, it was a single fingerprint. The truck driver had momentarily removed his left glove while handling documents, leaving behind the crucial evidence that would identify him as 25-year-old Durante King Milan from Brampton, Ontario. A man with no serious criminal history was now at the center of Canada's most notorious gold heist. Yet when police went looking, Milan had vanished. Investigators pieced together the truck's escape route using over 225 surveillance recordings. They tracked it westbound on Britannia Road, southbound on Dixie Road, then west on Highway 401. The vehicle continued into Halton region, turned north on Bronte Road, and disappeared into rural areas north of Milton. After that point, the trail went cold. For months, the investigation seemed to stall. Then in September 2023, police in Pennsylvania stopped a speeding rental car. Inside, 65 illegal firearms, including modified pistols with no serial number. The driver was none other than Durante King Milan. What had begun as a gold heist investigation now expanded to include international weapons smuggling. Authorities discovered encrypted chats on Milan's phone with another suspect, Paras Paramalingam, revealing detailed planning, escape routes, and clearly defined roles in the heist. The investigation accelerated with over 37 raids, 70 document warrants, and interviews with more than 50 people connected to the case. But the gold itself seemed to have vanished into thin air. Instead, police found $430,000 in cash, jewelry-making tools, homemade furnaces, and 6 gold bracelets valued at around $90,000, believed to have been crafted from the stolen bars. Recovery painted a clearer picture of what happened to the gold. Rather than smuggling the original bars out of the country, the thieves had melted them down within weeks, mixed them with other metals, and transformed them into jewelry. This allowed them to launder the gold through small jewelry shops and likely move the assets to buyers in India and Dubai, places where questions about origin would be minimal. 2 financial ledgers discovered during the raids listed the same 18 names with notations for payments like $220,000 for Dubai condo and entries for a boat purchase. The investigation had uncovered not just a theft, but an elaborate international money laundering operation. Police eventually identified 9 primary suspects in the heist. Evidence pointed to Archlor Sonny Chowdhury as the mastermind. On the day of the theft, he made over 800 calls to other suspects, coordinating the operation in real time. Within days of the heist, Chowdhury fled Canada and is now believed to be hiding in luxury in Dubai. Rental documents for a villa registered to a friend of his were discovered, but with no extradition treaty between Canada and the UAE, authorities have little hope of bringing him to justice. Another key player was Air Canada warehouse manager Simran Pit Paniar. Initially, Initially, he cooperated with police, even showing them around the crime scene. But months later, he resigned from his position and disappeared. Investigators believe he's hiding in India, tracked partially through his wife's extensive social media presence. As the warehouse manager, Paniyar had access to the internal printer used for the fake airway bill and complete knowledge of cargo schedules. The perfect inside man. The third major suspect, Parmpal Sidhu, worked as a regular warehouse employee. Like the others, he quit his job months after the heist and relocated to Dubai. His Instagram account tells the story police need no confession to believe. Luxury hotel stays, infinity pools, business class flights, and designer watches. A lifestyle far beyond the means of a warehouse worker. These three remain wanted internationally. 5 additional suspects have been arrested in Canada and released on bail, while Duranti King Emlan remains in custody in the United States. None have admitted guilt, and court proceedings continue to unfold. The aftermath of the heist extends beyond criminal charges. Brinks, the security company responsible for transporting the gold and cash, has sued Air Canada, alleging negligence and security failures that made the theft possible. Air Canada countersued, claiming Brinks failed to declare the cargo's true value, a detail that might have triggered enhanced security procedures. 2 years after the daring heist, the legal battle continues with no resolution in sight. Experts believe it's highly unlikely the gold or money will ever be recovered in its original form. The bars have been melted, the cash spent, and most of the primary suspects remain beyond the reach of Canadian law enforcement. What makes this case so remarkable isn't just the value of what was stolen, but the simplicity of how it was taken. No weapons, no violence, no elaborate Ocean's 11-style scheme. Just inside knowledge, perfect timing, and a single forged document. In broad daylight, $30 million in precious metal disappeared from one of Canada's most secure facilities, leaving authorities with little more than a trail of luxury purchases and international flight records.